What's up, everybody? This is MacDaddy660 here, and we are back with Buried, an interactive story. Now, I know the last episode was in August of 2016, and now it's March 2017. I sincerely apologize for the wait, you guys. I mean, I've been busy lately, especially with school and stuff like that. I mean, I hope you can all understand. But I hope to continue this series and hopefully finish it to its end. But for that to happen, I need some support from you guys. So if we can reach 70 likes, yeah, that's all I'm asking. 70 likes. Then I will continue this series. We will go chapters 3, 4, and 5 until we get to the end. Now, of course, I don't want to spoil the story for you, but on the other hand, I want you to buy the game for yourselves. But seeing as this is a choose your own adventure game, I mean, there's tons of choices for you to make. So I'm guessing my playthrough is nothing compared to what yours might be. Depends, you might do something different, or maybe you do the same thing, but then you'll just end up with the same story. Anyways, click the link in the description right now before continuing this video, because I'm not gonna make any summarizations about the first episode. I'm not gonna summarize it or anything. I mean, it's a lot of work to do that, and I think it's just best that you experienced it for yourself, because there's no way that in a summary I can show you how intense this whole story is and how it keeps you on edge. So I'm just gonna say to you right now, click the link in the description. It's in the description. You just click on it. Watch the first episode if you already haven't. Okay? So we're inside. We fell down this tunnel or something. Whatever. We're even deeper now under the ground. That's all I know so far. So we're standing on the thin platform of what looks like a fancy subway. The rails look well used, but not old. There are small overhead lights that are very dim, as if they are running on emergency power. The dim overhead lights are a blessing, but the size of the place makes me feel vulnerable. Staring ahead, the tunnel seems to be endless. It's almost dizzying. But there's a small light further ahead, and then a space that breaks the monotony of the tunnel's curved surface. Another platform, maybe? Oh, there's that word again. Monotony. You guys in the comment section, tell me what this is. What is monotony? Okay. Why are we in a subway tunnel? Or I could ask, Dennis, what do you think this is? I'll go with that. Let's ask Dennis. Looks like we're waiting for the D train, Dennis says with a deadly sounding cackle. Also, the ringing noise is louder down here. It's much more solid now, and there's some other sound. Something like the faint hum of machinery. What's your take on this, boss? You ask. You think we're safe here? Dennis asks. Not at all. This is what I think to myself, but I don't want to let Dennis see that I'm rattled. While he seems to be limping along much better than when we first stumbled into this place, he's still in rough shape. I'm leading him here, and I should probably make him feel more confident in that. Well, I don't feel confident, so I mean, we could instill some false confidence in this guy, or it could just be I don't know, this is creepy, get me out of here. I mean, that sounds like me, but you know, I think we'll be fine. My expert decision making, we'll be fine. You reassured Dennis. We're too far in to go back, I say. Besides, if we got caught for trespassing, I'm pretty sure we'd slide by. We're good. Okay, Roger. So yeah, this guy's name is Roger Hastings, if you forgot. He's more concerned about being caught for trespassing. I mean, there's so many other things you could be worrying about right now, and you're worried about being caught for trespassing? What? You're in pain, and we've got to find the rest of our crew. They could still be here somewhere. Dennis nods and looks reassured, albeit weak and miserable. From the looks of it, we can go either left or right. The left is slightly lit, the right not so much. This makes me uneasy because I get the sense that one wrong turn in a place like this would have us wandering for hours. Suddenly, I jerk my head to the right and hear the unmistakable sound of someone walking. "Did you hear something?" I asked Dennis, my eyes straining to see anything in the darkness. "Not sure," he says. "Maybe. It sounded kind of like footsteps." I wait a moment, but the sound doesn't come again. So those are our options. To the left are flickering lights, indicating we'll at least be able to see. There's also the hum of machinery, a sign of life. To the right is just darkness, but we also heard footsteps in that direction. Okay, none of these sound really good, but still, I mean, flickering lights means you can see, but flickering lights means like the perfect opportunity for a jump scare. But if you go to the right, I mean, darkness, so you might get jump scared, but there's also footsteps in that direction. So I think I should go left. You decided to go into the lights. Although then again, like, people always say that if, like, when you're about to die, steer away from the light. So maybe we should have gone the other way. But, you know, it's okay. Let's go into the lights. Seems smart to stay in the light. Left it is. We should have brought matches or something. Huh. I wonder if I made a previous choice earlier, instead of making the ones I did, maybe I would have found some matches or something. As we head left, the lights ahead are like a beacon in the dark, luring us forward. "Someone left the lights on for us," Dennis says, trying to be funny, but creeping me out instead. "I wonder if that's a good or bad thing," I say. As we near the lights, I hear the hum of machinery grow louder, but it doesn't sound like any machine I've heard before. As the light increases, I use it to take an inventory of Dennis and his condition. All the bleeding seems to have stopped. The amount that is soaked into his pants and shirt is beyond alarming. "How much further can you walk?" I ask him. "Can you keep going?" "Yes," Dennis says. "Let's walk into the deep tunnel that has no business being here." "Okay, Dennis, good idea. Let's walk into that deep tunnel that has no business being here." That's excellent idea. Genius. Okay. Now, fully stepping into the light, I notice that the sound of machinery is coming from an area on the left side that is protected by a guardrail. Wisps of bright blue light dance on the walls as they leak out from whatever is below. I also notice a posted sign that says, "Danger, severe radiation poisoning threat. Step closer and look, or stay back and move on." Okay, honestly, they put a sign out there that says, "Danger, severe radiation poisoning threat." I think it's kind of common sense that you just back off. I mean, we don't need radiation right now. "Dennis, I don't think we should get near whatever is down there," I say. Dennis studies the blue light a bit longer and then nods. He's hurting enough as it is. I don't think we need to add radiation poisoning to his list of ailments, or mine for that matter. We step away and take off down the tunnel again. As I start walking, I notice another structure coming into view up ahead. Oh yeah, you guys, in the comment section, tell me if I'm reading too fast though. I mean, I have a feeling that I'm going a little too fast, but I'm not too sure what you guys hear. I mean, I just hear the sound of my own voice, so I think I'm going a little too fast, but I can't tell for sure. I'd have to get someone else's view on that. As we head further into the tunnel, we reach another platform. There's lights coming from the platform, but like the overhead lights, there are dim, red emergency lights. I start to wonder if the explosion at the logging site caused a power outage in this place, whatever this place is. The ringing noise that I originally thought was in my head is getting louder. I'm starting to think that it's some sort of alarm. When we come to the large open area ahead of the tunnel, it further resembles a subway station. As much as I try to ignore the reality, it's undeniable. We have stumbled into some sort of high-tech transportation system that is buried beneath the forests of Kentucky. What? Conspiracies. It makes absolutely no sense and creates an entirely new sort of fear as to what the hell we've walked into. I notice that Dennis seems confident though. When we reach the large opening, we have to climb over the rails and up onto the platform. I have to help Dennis over the rails and then up the small utility ladder that is bolted into the opposite side of the travelway. When he reaches the large open area, resembling a subway waiting area, He collapses on the floor and lets out a heaving breath. You know what? Dennis says, exasperated. This is ridiculous. I quit. I'm not going any further. On top of worrying about my crew and the madness of wherever we are, I'm not in the mood for Dennis to act like a baby. Honestly, I just want to get out of here, so, like, I could just be forceful and be like, get up! Pull yourself together, Dennis! Or I could be, it's okay, man. Take it easy. You can do this. I want to get out of here. I mean, if I was in this situation, I'd probably just shout at him and be like, you just get up. Just get on your feet, Dennis. Don't have time for this crap. Get on your feet. I'm ashamed that I'm getting irritated with him. Oh, you think I'm just relaxing here? He says sarcastically. Sorry if I'm slowing your progress. Great plan you got here, by the way. Oh! Get wrecked, Roger! Oh! Okay. His response makes my blood boil. I don't need this shit from him right now. That's for sure. Yank him up by his collar or help him up slowly. Okay. Let's calm things down here. I'll help him up slowly. It's fine. Just relax a little bit. I can't stand the guilt anymore. A sappy apology comes out of my mouth before I can clamp my lips down against it. I'm sorry I lost my temper. I say. It was uncalled for. But I'm under some stress here, as I'm sure you can understand. He hesitates for a moment, and I'm sure that he'll ignore me, but he surprises me. I'll get it, he says. Apology accepted. As for me, sorry I was being a jerk. Yeah, you were, Dennis. You were being a bit of a jerk. Apparently bleeding out makes me kinda high-strung. Dennis is always high-strung, and about 2 harsh words away from trading punches with someone, but I keep that to myself. We exchange an awkward look and put it behind us. It is no different than some argument we might have had on the job site or over a few beers. One thing is for sure, I'd much rather be arguing with him over a few beers than here in this nightmare. I reach out, help him to his feet, and then we get ourselves up onto the platform. Right in front of us, there's an entrance to a long hallway, exiting the platform area. It's at this point that I realize those red emergency lights might be on for someone else who is actually supposed to be here. So I can either yell out or just stay quiet. Think of this from a military tactical position thing. If we yell out, then we've exposed our position to the enemy, but we have striked fear into their hearts. But if we stay quiet, the enemy may get a jump on us. But on the other hand, we could surprise them and catch Charlie with his trousers down. If you know what I mean. In this case, we are going to yell out. War cry. Boy, if you don't get... Okay. Hello? Anyone here? I ask, my voice raised to almost a shout. There's not much of an echo. It's not much of an echo. My voice falls flat like a rock from the sky. I'm almost glad that I don't get an answer. Hearing anything else in this hollow silence would have given me a heart attack. The emergency lights continue to flicker overhead, casting a sick sort of pinkish light on everything. My mind is racing with what sort of place this might be. It's obvious that it's meant to be a secret. And if it is supposed to be a secret, and there was a power outage recently, maybe most everyone has been evacuated. This thought does nothing to make me feel any better as we walk towards the platform exit. We step inside, and it seems just as empty as every other place we've come through, weakly illuminated by more overhead emergency lights. We're standing inside a hallway that looks surreal for a moment. The hallway reminds me of a hospital wing, but there's something not quite right about it. It's the first clean and tidy area I've seen since coming into the woods. It looks like it was recently in use, despite the dim emergency lights overhead. There are chairs against the walls, and the floor looks well cleaned, as do the walls. The ringing noise is definitely coming from here, and a small flashing red light along the ceiling seems to flash along with it. That ringing noise is an alarm, I say, if only to confirm my own thought. But for what? Dennis asks. And then he asks the question that has been on my mind since we fell in that hole. What the hell is this place? We exchange a look that speaks volumes. We reach the end of the hallway and hear a noise like a large metallic grinding. It is followed by a clicking noise and then the unmistakable noise of a generator kicking on. Okay. Yes, it's pretty! I wonder if these are actual sets though. Like, this looks pretty real. Without warning, the facility jolts to life. The red glow of the emergency lights is suddenly replaced by bright white fluorescent ones. That mechanical hum is oddly comforting. Somehow, the power being back on urges us on. It's then that I noticed the ringing noise had stopped. So it had been an alarm. But for what? Just the power failure? We head down the hallway, the electric hum of the lights sounding eerie overhead. Other than that, the place is dead quiet. The hall is about 100 feet long, with two main doors. One door opens onto a large room that looks like a conference room, with a whiteboard and paper strewn about. Across the hallway, another door looks like a laboratory of some sort. Dennis slumps against the wall in defeat and lets out a scary-sounding chuckle. Okay. Something funny? I ask as a dark and brooding panic starts to grip me. Dennis just keeps chuckling as he slides down to the floor. I'm just going to sit here while you look around, he says. There's a look in his eyes that reminds me far too much of a dead animal on the side of the road. Okay, now I'm kind of worried. Dennis, are you okay? Are you okay, Dennis? I don't know, he's acting weird now. Probably inhaled some of the Joker's laughing gas or something. Okay. Enter the conference room or enter the lab. I don't want to enter the lab. You know, labs equal evil experiments equals mad scientists equals world domination equals zombies equals the Walking Dead series equals bang 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 equals eating brains equals world being taken over by zombies. Okay? Like, I don't want to go that path. It's not worth it. Let's just go in the conference room. I mean, what's so bad about a conference room, eh? See? Look how friendly it looks in here. Look at how nice those... I want one of those for my YouTube station. I want one of those chairs. I mean, look how luxurious that looks. That looks so nice. And I'm sitting with like this really cheap chair, I swear. It's so cheap. A large table sits in the middle of the room, lined with a series of chairs. It looks like something straight out of a YouTube room. Okay, a showroom, okay. A well-used whiteboard hangs on the wall, and there are scattered papers on the desk. Look at the papers on the table, look at the whiteboard on the wall. Let's look at the whiteboard. A few things are scribbled on the whiteboard, mostly formulas and names. But there are some things that are easy to understand, things that make my blood go cold. Subject number 6. Cause of death, embolism or aneurysm, or both. Ideas for new delivery mode, spherical, liquid, induced comatose state first, TerraCore Corporation, possible plutonium supplier. What is this? They're doing tests on things? They call it subjects? Like, what are these subjects? Cause of death is embolism, aneurysm. Okay, another thing you gotta search up along with monotony. So search up this. Monotony, embolism, and aneurysm. Aneurysm sounds familiar, I just don't know what it means. Here, this is how it works. If it ends in a ISM or a YSM, so in other words, ism, then you know it's a medical term. Something very fancy that you will probably not understand. So, you guys just help me search this stuff up. I need to know what this is. Ideas for new delivery mode. Spherical or liquid. So, I don't know what they're delivering here. Induced comatose state first. I'm guessing comatose means like they're like putting them in comas first, okay? They're probably putting their subjects in comas and then delivering them to this laboratory in spheres or in a liquid form or something. But how would they do that? How could you take like how can you take your subject and turn it into a liquid? I mean, that doesn't make sense. And the TerraCore Corporation, a possible plutonium supplier. So plutonium, what is plutonium used for? Usually it's used for like nukes, I think. Yeah, nukes, some kind of bomb. Yeah. You guys probably want to search that up too. What is plutonium used for? I think it's used for bombs. But if it is, like, that just makes this whole situation even more weirder than it is. Look at papers on table, exit the room. Let's look at the papers. Most of the papers and printouts have codes and equations that go way over my head. But there are also handwritten notes that don't make me feel any better about our situation. I read through them and see scrawled notes that say things like, last experiment failed, overdosed before transport, levels indicate cellular catabolism, more lead shielding in export suits, measurements make no sense, let Barksdale know about possible Higgs field fix. Outside in the hallway, I hear Dennis grunting. Actually, I'm not going to read that yet. Or no, never mind. Outside in the hallway, I hear Dennis grunting. I head out of the room to see him still seated on the floor, but I don't get far, because as I exit, a man comes rushing around the corner with an automatic rifle in his hand. Okay, well, we'll deal with that man with the rifle later. Let's just try to make sense of this first, okay? Last experiment failed, overdose before transport. So I'm guessing that must relate to something with them inducing comatose state. So they put them in comas, probably with like an injection of plutonium. I'm guessing that if they're not using plutonium for bombs or something, then they're using it to inject these people so they're in a coma before they're transported. But this last experiment was overdosed, and maybe that overdose caused embolism or aneurysm. See, it's all connecting now. Okay, it all makes sense. Levels indicate cellular catabolism. Okay, search that up for me too. It's another ism word, so you know it's a medical term. Search that up for me, you guys. Catabolism. And more lead shielding in export suits. Measurements make no sense. Let Barksdale know about possible Higgs field fix. That makes no sense to me at all. But, yeah, my theory is their last experiment failed because they were overdosed with plutonium because they were trying to put them in a coma before they were transported to the lab in their sphere/liquid thingy. And because of the overdose, they experienced embolism/aneurysm and died. See, that's my game theory right there. Oh yeah, and now we got that guy rushing around the corner with a automatic rifle. Okay. Oh, my skin, I feel so cold. It's hard to look beyond his rifle, but the man carrying it is young with messy dark hair. His skin is so pale that I wonder if maybe he lives down here. He has the look of a guy who's been cooped up for a little too long. He doesn't seem like the kind of person I'd trust with a gun in a stressful situation. As he sees us in the doorway, he screams and brings the gun up. It's aimed directly at my head. Try to attack or put hands up in the air. Okay, let's just put our hands up. I mean, I'm not going up against a guy with a gun. So, I put my hands in the air, surprised at how natural it feels to go into the surrendered state. Maybe it's because this feels like a dream. Maybe it's because I feel like I'll snap awake if the maniac pulls the trigger. I recognize you. You stomped around and set off the security mics in the entrance. What? I asked, unable to think or of anything else to say. Who are you? The man asks. Did you do this? The man eyes us both, and I see something in his eyes that unsettles me. He is scared, but there is something else. We're just loggers, or we're nobody. Don't shoot us. Let's just be truthful. I mean, we're just loggers. His eyes look distant for a minute, and then he says, bullshit. But for some reason, I'm pretty sure he knows I'm telling the truth. Someone knocked the power out, the man says. It's back on now. But if it was out long enough, well, we're in a heap of trouble. Was it you? Who sent you? Look, you don't know what you're talking about, Dennis says. Something happened out in the woods. Are you alone? Are there others with you? The armed man asks, thrusting his gun in my face. How the hell did we end up in this situation, I think to myself. If we hadn't fallen into that hole, we wouldn't be here. I'm not really sure if we want to be giving this guy information. We don't know anything about him. Then again, he might have answers. Excuse me, talking too much. So, no, it's just us, or we're looking for our crew. Well, we kind of are, but we don't even know if they're alive. As far as we know, one of them is dead. Another one is still there's another one we don't know what happened to. So there should be 4 guys. We got Roger, Dennis, Tony, whose body we found in the first chapter, and what's that last guy's name? I think was Frank or something. I don't know. I kind of forgot. Excuse me. We're just looking for our crew. We have other crew members that we can't find, I say. Your crew? He asks, seeming confused. If this man thinks that we're nuts, there's no telling what he might do. The fact he looks a little crazy himself makes the situation even hairier. But how'd you get in here? The man asks. I point down the hall towards the subway. We came in that way. The doors weren't locked. His expression calms for a bit, but I am still very aware of the gun that is leveled less than a foot away from my face. How long is a foot? I'm just trying to use my fingers here. Picture Subway sandwich. Foot. A foot long. Subway. Foot long. Yeah. Okay, I really don't know. I'm just trying to use my hands here. A foot away. I could grab his gun. I mean, I could. But maybe we should try the diplomatic approach first. Let's just please put the gun down. I don't think this guy wants to hurt us. We're not a threat to him. Let's not be a threat. Let's just ask the man to calm down. He asked the man calmly to put his gun down. The only way I'm putting this rifle down is after I've blown your brains out, the man says. With that, he uses the muzzle of the gun to flip my hard hat onto the floor. You little... how could he? That is offensive. It's a childish move, a playground tactic at best, but it's sufficient to show me that he's in control now. Then he levels the rifle at Dennis, and I can only assume it because his wounds make him appear to be the weaker of us. The man takes a shaky step forward. Dennis looks back and forth between the barrel of the gun and me, his eyes pleading for help. I can either stay back or step between Dennis and the gun. I don't know. I don't know. It's my life versus Dennis's life. Well, let's be the hero this time. I mean, it's a video game. I get the chance to be a hero. I'm stepping between him and the gun because I'm a badass. Before I'm fully aware of what I'm doing, I step out in front of Dennis. The barrel of the rifle is nearly touching my chest now. Both Dennis and the man seem a little confused at my action, and I do my best to swallow down my fear. I don't know what's going on here, I say, but we are here by mistake. Well, you have no business here, the man says. But now that the power is on, I think you might be too late anyway. For what? I ask. But he doesn't answer me. Instead, he steps forward and actually pushes me backward with the end of his rifle. The man then repeats a question he asked before, one that makes no sense and honestly makes me think he might be a little crazy. Who sent you? He asks. You assholes from the Pentagon? I'm not quite sure how to take this question. Is this guy joking? But wait, the Pentagon. I know that's a place in the U.S., right? Yeah, that's a building in the United States. But don't blame me, you guys. Like, I don't know this stuff. These guys are like in Kentucky and they're in these states. I live in Canada, British Columbia. Like, I don't know anything about American buildings. All I know is that the Canadians burnt their White House down. At one point in history, the Canadians came, we burnt down their White House. That's literally all I know about like Canadian and American interaction, besides the fact that we trade with one another and stuff. I mean, I really don't know much about my neighbors to the south, so I'm sorry. So I could either say, No, what the hell are you talking about? Or, yeah, I'm the president. This guy seems on edge and a little crazy. I don't think it's time to be joking around. I'm just gonna say no. No, I say. We're just loggers. Something blew up and my friend got hurt. We're looking for the rest of our crew. Likely story, the man says. But I see a flicker of recognition in his face that makes me think he might believe me. Still, his grip on the gun is as tight as ever. The look on his face makes me think he'll shoot at any moment. You both just stand still, he says. Sooner or later, someone will come along and I'll turn you over. He again thrusts his gun forward, as if it has an invisible bayonet on it. There's no need for that, I tell him. I have no guarantee that he won't pull the trigger. Look, Dennis says, we don't want any trouble. We're just as confused as you are. Then, in a movement so fast that I just about miss it, Dennis lunges forward. I have no idea how he's moving so fast. Just 30 seconds ago, I was worried about how close to death he looked. But now he's moving lightning fast, his left arm coming down on the barrel of the gun like a club. In the commotion, the man does pull the trigger. The booming noise is deafening, and there's a moment where I think I've been hit. It takes a clanging noise of the round tearing into the floor at my feet to help me realize I have not been shot. Oh, praise the Lord, we have not been shot. I look to the floor and I see where the shot missed my right leg by less than 3 inches. I'm paralyzed, in shock for a moment that Dennis and the man fight over possession of the rifle. There's a fire extinguisher on the wall I can use as a bludgeon, but I might not have enough time to grab it before Dennis is overpowered. A bludgeon? Oh, this game's got too many words. It's got too many words. What is a bludgeon? Don't blame me, you guys, okay? I'm not a big reader, and on the other side, like, I'm only in grade 8, you guys. I'm 13 years old. I don't understand all this stuff. Punch him. Let's just punch him. We don't have time for the fire extinguisher. Fire extinguishers are for pussies. I'm gonna punch him. Dennis has the man pinned to the floor, but isn't strong enough to keep him down. As I fall to the floor to help, the barrel of the rifle swings right in front of my face, a reminder of how close I had come to being shot. Oh, excuse me. On my knees now, I deliver a hard, stiff punch to the man's face. I don't punch someone often. Never really. I'm not usually the brawling type. Still, it is apparently effective. The man's head snaps back hard and his grip on the gun loosens. Dennis grabs the gun and falls to the floor, clearly winded and in pain. Our attacker is immobilized, and I can feel a shift in the situation. Yet, although he's basically harmless now, I feel the need to pummel him, a desire that builds with each second I look at him. Keep punching him, or stand back and step back. Stand up and step back. Ugh. This isn't the UFC. I'm the ref on this one. We're gonna break it up. You took it easy on the man. He's definitely out now. No threat. Oh yeah, or at least that's what I think. But he surprises me by mustering up one more swift kick in my direction, connecting with my forehead. My eyelid swells to the size of a grape almost immediately. It seems like this last attack is more to spite me than to defend himself. I stumble back and ready myself for another round of blows, but he just slouches into the floor. He's done. Dennis instantly hands the rifle over to me and I take it with shaking hands. I can't believe you stepped between me and that gun, Dennis says. He could have killed you. I was pretty sure he wouldn't, I say, although I had known no such thing. Still, man, that was some heroic stuff. Well, that's what they call me. Roger Hero Hastings. Mac Hero. You would have done the same, right? Dennis says nothing. His eyes look to the floor. What do we do now, boss? Dennis asks. We've come this far and I want answers. I sense that Dennis does too. I walk over and pick up my hard hat off the floor. After placing it on my head, I turn towards the man. We get answers from this guy. No answers, the man says. I don't have any. Next time, I won't just hit you, I say, plunging the rifle towards him. Now get up. He obeys quickly, but his legs are wobbly and he leans against the wall for support. I can feel my swollen eyelid from where he kicked me earlier. I just hope it doesn't get so bad that it affects my sight. Okay, let's move, I say, pointing the gun further down the hallway. We've come this far and I'm not going to let this guy stop us. We walk down the hallway until we come to the end. A single elevator waits for us. Its steel sliding doors larger than a normal elevator. Wow. Oh, they made it sound so intense though, and it's only just words. It's literally just the stuff that I'm reading, and it's so intense. Dude. Before I get into the elevator with this guy, I think it's wise to learn a bit more about him. I can tell it's making him uncomfortable for me to have the gun. What's your name? I ask. Marcus. And you work here? It's clear that he doesn't want to answer, but he gives us a little nod. We're looking for the rest of our crew. Any idea where they might be? I ask. No, he says curtly, not bothering to elaborate. There's got to be some useful info we can get out of this guy. I just need to know how to dig for it. I need a first aid kit from my friend here, I say. Where might I find one? Down on the second floor, he says, but we can't go down there. We are going down there, okay? Or we could say, what's on level 2? Just ask what's on level 2. What is on level 2? He looks at me like I'm an idiot. You must be aware you're inside of a classified government facility, he says. Wait, what? Okay, that explains a lot. We're inside of a classified government facility. But why would they put it here out of like all the places? Imagine if they had like an American government facility underneath the grounds of Canada, like Jasper National Park in Alberta. And then they have secret underground base underneath there, and they created Bigfoot / Sasquatch. Imagine that if the Americans made Sasquatch and then they put him up in Jasper National Park. That would have been amazing. Oh wait, I'm losing my spot here. Yeah, it makes sense, but I want to doubt it. Well, I'm sure our government would want you to help save my friend, so take me to the first aid kit. I can't, he says. You don't have clearance. Hell, I barely have clearance. Then, seemingly to himself, he mutters, I make this place run. And not even a thank you, just a bunch of restricted access rooms that I'm only allowed to go into with a friggin' chaperone. I interrupt his monologue. We're going to that first aid kit. I could lose my job, he says. I wonder for a moment what sort of trouble I wonder for a moment what sort of trouble I could get in for hitting a government employee. This makes me feel glad I took it easy on him. Then again, he had come at us with a rifle. It makes me think that things might have gone terribly wrong in this place. And the explosion in the woods, or whatever the hell had happened, might be linked to it all. I need to convince him to take us to the second floor, but I'm not sure it would be more productive to threaten him or ask for sympathy. Threaten him, ask for help. Just ask for help, man. I mean, that's what we need. Look, I say, it hasn't been the best day. We're just trying to find out what's going on, to find our crew, to survive. I know that this isn't a normal situation down here. It looks like all of your protocols have been blown to hell. Can't you help us out? He looks at me sternly, weighing his options. Okay, he says. Thank you, I say. With an untrusting stare, Marcus walks into the elevator doors, approaching a small keypad by the doors. He punches in a numerical code on the keypad, and we hear a slight mechanical hum behind the steel doors. After a few seconds of angry glances and frightened sneers from Marcus, the elevator arrives. The steel doors slide open with a whisper, revealing the interior. Oh, that whole time we were just on the outside? Oh my gosh. Come on, man. I've been reading forever. We were just on the outside. It's exceptionally well lit and looks to be made of stainless steel. I half expect the thing to take off at the speed of light. There's another small keypad on the front right panel by the door with the options for 3 sub-level floors. Looks like this elevator doesn't go to the surface. Oh, come on, I wanted to go home. So after we get our first aid kit for Dennis, how do we get out of here? I ask. We can't leave, Marcus says. Once the power came back on, the whole place was put on lockdown. What? I shout. Can't you override it? No, it's to prevent anything from getting out. I can't. Marcus looks as deflated as Dennis. We can't get out. We're stuck here. Dennis leans into the corner and almost falls onto the floor. The struggle for the rifle took a lot out of him. I can see that much in his face. Slowly we start to move down. The hum and grind of the car's motors fill the space. What can you do? Or, so are we stuck here forever? What can you do? Marcus bristles at the question, but I think it's fair. I mean, he's not allowed to unlock the doors without to eat or even get medical supplies. Why keep a guy around who can't even grab a band-aid without permission? Without me, nothing would get done here, Marcus answers me. These people think they're so brilliant, but some of them can barely turn their computers on without help. The top coder in my class at MIT, and I'm stuck living underground, helping idiots who don't even trust me with keys. Excuse me. How big is this place, or what goes on here? What goes on here? Marcus shakes his head. You may as well shoot me, I can't tell you. Why not? It's beyond classified, and the things I don't even cover. The things I know don't even cover the start of it. What does that mean? I asked, starting to get irritated. It means even if I wanted to tell you what sort of work is done here, I don't know enough about it. How big is this place, or what's your job? What's your job? I handle the IT work and make sure the databases are up and running. It's a 24/7 job. I haven't seen sunlight in almost a year. I wonder what staying in a place like this for so long would do to someone's mind. I was recruited, he continues, because of the workload. No one else wants this job. But I don't really mind being by myself. No family. Plus the IT, it's some crazy shit. Crazy how? I ask. This place generates over 100 terabytes of data per day, he answers, getting the slightest bit excited before his face falls again. 100 terabytes? No, that's a lot. Like, I'm running out of space on my computer right now. I could do with just even 1 terabyte. I mean, that's awesome. What happened here? What knocked the lights out? What happened here? Seems like the sort of power outage, Marcus says. That's all I know. There was an outage and then what? Dennis asked weakly. Then things got weird. Things got bad. Bad how? I ask. The whole place seems to shake when the lights went out. I was checking the monitors when it happened, and everything went dead. It took no more than a minute or so before I started hearing the screams. People were being killed by something. What? Whoa. Okay. I tried getting the security cameras going again, but it only lasted for a little bit on my backup systems. But what I saw... Was it Freddy? No. What? I asked, feeling a sharp feeler worm its way into my guts. Well, what I saw on the screens for that little bit of time made no sense. It made me get a gun from the emergency vault. I think whatever it is, it's still down there. Hold on, I say. There's an emergency vault with a rifle in the same room as the security cameras in this place? Marcus gives me a grin that looks nearly insane. There are guns locked away in every room in this place, just in case you know. Oh, so that means Marcus could easily just end up getting another gun. So there's no real point. Just in case of what? So we're still in danger here? Say just in case of what? As he opens his mouth to answer, the elevator comes to a stop and the doors slide open. Marcus is out right away, without a word. He makes his exit and heads directly for a glassed-in room that is filled with computer monitors and high-end equipment. Dennis and I file out behind him, trying to keep up. Excuse me. As we do, one very alarming question runs through my head. What the hell kind of government facility keeps loaded guns in emergency vaults in every single room? End of chapter 2. Oh my goodness. This is... Oh my gosh. This whole series is just so awesome. Oh, it's all the chills. Curiosity. You and 39% of players obeyed the warning sign and stay away from the glow. See what I told you. Avoiding danger all over again. Okay? Avoiding danger, like that's That's my motto. Avoiding danger. Selflessness. You and 64% of players stepped in front of Dennis to protect him from Marcus. Nice. And you and 65% of players were easy on Marcus after he surrendered. Well, you guys, that was chapter 2 of Buried, an interactive story. And this story is getting intense. So we learned about a government facility that is now under the ground in Kentucky. And I came up with some theories as to what might be happening here. And I came up with a totally unrelated theory that the United States had created an underground facility under Jasper National Park. And they created Bigfoot. Okay. I honestly, I don't know where that came from. It just came off the top of my head. I mean, I thought, well, if there's an underground facility here in Kentucky, why couldn't there be one in Canada? See? Exactly. Maybe that's where Bigfoot came from. Yeah. Anyways, you guys, this has been Buried, the second chapter. But I only wish these chapters had some names to them. I mean, all it says is chapters 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, why don't they just give it a name? Anyways, you guys, in the comment section, I know there was a bunch of words I didn't know. Okay, give me a break. I'm sorry about that. Okay, I don't English. So, for the words I didn't know, try search them up for me. Okay, and also tell me if I'm reading too fast. I have a feeling I might be reading a little too fast, but it's kind of hard to tell just off the top of my head. It sounded a little too fast, but I'd like to hear what you guys thought about it. Once again, can this video reach 70 likes? If you guys can, like just leave a like at the end of this video. I want just 70 likes. Nothing more, nothing less. I mean, 70 likes is great. Okay, because I know there are other YouTubers who go for 10,000, go for 100,000 likes. I'm asking for 70. Cause I know I have enough views for 70 likes. Anyways, you guys, I hope you all enjoyed. And with the likes, it tells me that you guys are actually enjoying the series. I mean, if you guys don't leave likes, then I'll probably just end the series here, because I need to make sure that people are interested in actually watching me play this game and reading to you. Otherwise, I'll just go on to the next adventure game, and then I'll play through that one. Okay? Well, anyways, you guys, thanks for watching. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you very much.